Are you considering buying an EV? I'm going to be talking about some pros and cons that hopefully help you make a decision on if an EV is right for you. I, myself, have been intrigued about buying an EV when they came out on the market. So I ended up test driving a Ford Mustang Mach-E, and I fell in love with it instantly. The style, the look, and instant acceleration had me right from the get-go. It has to be one of the best cars that I have owned so far. So stick around with me as I've got 2 years of experience of owning an EV. I've put 50,000 miles on my car. So I'm gonna go over some of the ins and outs that I have. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them down below in the comment section. I will respond to it the best that I can. At-home charging. That would be the first thing that I would consider before buying an EV. At-home charging makes life a lot easier with owning an EV. Or if you have availability to charge at work, or if you have availability and maybe you have an apartment building, they have charging available for you. I would highly recommend maybe purchasing an EV at that point. I do a lot of driving, so my miles are about 66 miles a day. So when I come home from work, all I do is plug my vehicle in, and in the next morning, it is ready for me to go. I have level 2 charging in my garage. So level 2 charging gets me about 30 miles an hour put back into my car. There's level 1 charging that you can have. Level 1 charging is just plugging right into a normal outlet. That averages about 3 miles an hour. So you get 3 miles put back into your car an hour. With all the driving I do, that did not work for me. So I had to have a level 2 installed by a professional, and they ran some piping, they ran some heavy duty wires, and then that got installed to my garage. But level 2 would be the way to go if you're doing a lot of driving on a daily basis. There is also level 3, which is public charging. Public charging is like the Electrify Americas, Tesla supercharger stations, and anything else, ChargePoint, all the other companies out there. The only problem with public charging, yes, it's a lot faster to charge. You can get from 10 to 80%. It's about 35 minutes to 45 minutes, depending on your vehicle, depending on the size, depending on what vehicle you have. Some charge faster than others. Once you reach 80%, the charging tends to drop significantly. So if you're trying to get from 80 to 100%, you could probably be there another 20 minutes to a half hour. I haven't done it. I usually get to about 80, 85% if I do have to charge to top off my vehicle, and then I go ahead and go to my next destination. As being a Ford EV owner, I was only available to charge at Electrify Americas, but now I can go ahead and charge at the Tesla supercharging stations. I have Ford sent me out an adapter. I have not utilized that yet, but that does open up my charging experiences to a lot more charging spots, and can't wait to use them. So in my opinion, if you are looking at buying an EV, I would definitely highly look at having a level 2 charger put in your home if you're available to do so. And if you do a lot of driving, that's what I would recommend. If you don't do a lot of driving and want the benefits of the EV and you just do daily driving around, a level 1 might work for you, but do your research on that. And it's a great experience for ownership of an EV. Let's talk about pricing. As of right now, as of making this video, the average price on an EV is about $55,000. So you can get an EV right now for $40,000, and some of the luxury EVs are running $100,000 plus. And as of right now, the EV prices are starting to come down a little bit. They're making better batteries and hopefully longer range batteries and competition. Also, look out for some incentives that the EV companies are giving out. That can help you make your mind up on whether an EV is right for you and maybe the pricing or what they're offering. All right, let's talk about winter driving. Winter driving is terrible for EVs. I'm just gonna say it right now. If you live where the climate gets to anywhere from 0 to 29 degrees during the winter months, your battery life is gonna be affected. I just want you to be aware of this because that can play a big part in range anxiety. Again, at-home charging would help all this because once you get home, you plug your vehicle right on in and you can have your vehicle ready to go in the morning. My normal commute to work is 66 miles, which gets me plenty of battery to and from work. So if I do any extra driving, adding another 30 miles, I'm still okay. But sometimes I'm adding another 100 miles, 150 miles on top of my normal commute. That's where I'm gonna need public charging because I'm not gonna get enough battery life in the colder winter months. I would say right now I'm averaging, if I ever charge it to 100%, in the cold months, again, 29 degrees, having the heater on, I'm averaging, if I was to do from 0 to 100, which I never do at 0, but I would say about 150 miles is what I would probably get on a full charge in the colder months. Now, during the summer, fall, and spring months, I can get over 200 miles, and that does all the driving I need to do on a daily basis. So, and again, when I get home at night, I go ahead and plug my vehicle in, and it's in a level 2 charger, and it's ready to go the next morning. And one other thing I want to talk about is some of the conditions on the road. Rain, you've got, if it's really windy out, or maybe your route is basically uphill, that also drains your battery life as well, but you won't see that as much as, say, the wintertime driving. So the battery life overall during the other 3 seasons are pretty reliable. Let's talk about driving. This thing is so much fun to drive. There are 3 modes that it has. It has whisper mode, which is for calm, smoother driving, and it's best for slippery conditions. Then you have engaged. Engaged is gonna be everyday driving and just fun driving. And then my personal favorite is unbridled. Unbridled is exhilarating driving and responsive acceleration and steering. It is so much fun to drive, and I highly recommend you test driving the Ford Mustang Mach-E or any other EV, just to see what I'm talking about. Let's talk about savings. This was a big one for me. I save about $3,000 a year. I am no longer putting $300 to $400 of gasoline into my car. I no longer have oil changes, which was costing me anywhere from $80 to $100 a month every 2 to 3 months. I no longer have any maintenance with the transmission, which could be a little bit on the costly side as well. This was a huge savings for me. My monthly costs on owning an EV are about $40 a month. I do all my charging at night. So where I live, it only costs me anywhere from 1 to 3 cents a kilowatt hour. And during the day, it can average anywhere from 5 cents to 25 cents a kilowatt hour. And that is definitely cheaper than doing any public charging, which in my area is about 59 cents a kilowatt hour at a, like say an Electrify America, and I don't know what it's at a Tesla charging station. If you have any questions about buying an EV or any questions in general about EVs, drop the comment in the section below and I'll see if I can respond to that with any information I know about it. And if you own an EV already and you want to share any experiences with me, I would love to hear about those as well. Check out my other video right here about the Ford adapter for Tesla charging stations, which will open up more charging stations for me to utilize and make it even possible for me to go and take my EV on a road trip, which I haven't done yet. As always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my page. Lets me know that you like the content that I'm creating. Please take care out there, And until the next time, we will see you in the next video.